issue, that's so funny. The Decima engine that was made by what's the name? Guerrilla Games. Hideo Kojima helped to build on top of it. So when it was created, it was done, it was made. Kojima got a chance to work on it, but not only work on it to use it, but work on it to develop more on top of what the engine already was. And that plays a major role into what I'm talking about today. So let's go to the bullet points, and we're gonna break down everything. You hear the background music? Oh, my bad, yo, my bad. Hold up, I know what that is. All right, cool, bet. All right, we're gonna start this over. I forgot I had that up. Okay. Yo, Caleb, Celeb, what's going on? All right, can y'all hear me now? Is everything clear? Is everything straight? Let me know. All right, cool. Now let's start this over again, right? It's the one and only HipHopGamer Hot 97 Logitech G. You already know what it is. Today's title is Sony will acquire Kojima Productions. Okay, Sony will acquire Kojima Productions. It's a new horror game on the way on PS5 from Kojima Productions, and the Decima engine on PS5 is crazy. All right, crazy. And not only that, even though Guerrilla Games made the Decima engine, Kojima didn't just use it, but he worked on it. He worked on it more and added more to it to give the Decima engine more things than it had previously when Guerrilla had made it, which is very, very interesting to what we're going to be talking about today as I go through the bullet points of, what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So gaming channel is in the building. What's going on? Ready? 4-star, what up? Now let's go to the bullet points. Okay. This particular deal has been in the works since December, the month of December when Kojima was parting ways with Konami. So this deal has been, in the works and talked about since then. So this ain't nothing new. And the interesting thing about this is like Sony, just like what they did with Capcom and, funding Street Fighter so that could be made. This situation right here is similar yet different, and we're going to talk about it. So now, with this deal being in the works, once Konami and all that stuff fell through with Kojima, that's when obviously Kojima Productions was created, and they got a chance to form their own independent studio, and they had a lot of support doing so. And the reports is that when Kojima Productions got off the ground independently, Sony was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make sure that got up and running. So it wasn't just Kojima Productions alone that got Kojima Productions to where it's at. You know what I'm saying? On the back end, which is very interesting. The next thing I want to talk about is Hideo Kojima being a big development part of PS5 in terms of the system. So I'm gonna give you some information on what happened back in the 2006, 2005. No, even before that, I'm bugging. When Mark Rain was talking about the Xbox 360, he had a meeting with Microsoft, and he showed them what Gears of War would look like with just 256 megabytes of RAM. And he said, look, if we get 512, this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be crazy. And that one moment, that one deal, that one meeting, even though it cost a lot of money for Microsoft to add that in there for their system, but it was obviously well worth it because Gears of War blew up, in 2005 when 2006, I believe, when it first came out, and stuff like that. So this situation right here with Kojima is kind of similar to that as well. When it comes from a development standpoint, because Kojima, he's big on visuals and big on engines and stuff like that. You see what the Fox engine did and everything. And he played a role in how PlayStation can maximize the power in their system from a development standpoint. And if you remember, Mark Cerny, not only did Mark Cerny take the PS4 to developers to see what type of system they wanted, he also, in particular, worked with Kojima to see how things can be. And what I'm hearing is that Kojima played a major role in the development of PS5 as well. You know what I'm saying? As well as many other developers, but mainly Kojima. So that was very interesting to see his take on what the PS5 could be. Now, if you look over here, if you look up here, you'll see that there's an interview that I did with Hideo Kojima. This is way back, I think like 2010 or something like that. But this is an interview that I did with Hideo Kojima. And one of the things that he said that he wants from next generation, and this is going into the, no, actually, I think it's 2012. I think this is going into the PS4 and into the Xbox One when those came out. He was very focused on connected devices, and he still is today. You know, visuals, connected devices, being able to do more everywhere. And that's still his same focus today from what I'm hearing as well. So this is very interesting in terms of Kojima having some sort of role in the development of PS5 and also having help from Sony to make sure that once he went independent and broke ties from Konami, Sony helped him get where he needed to be with Kojima Productions. So that's the second thing that's very interesting that ties in Sony into all of this, right? So, yo, Courtney, what's up, Courtney? What's popping? David Diaz, what's going on? I hope y'all enjoying the content. Now let me continue on to the next bullet point. So, the next bullet point, and this is huge. Kojima Productions is not just a game company. Kojima Productions is not just a gaming company. Kojima Productions, their goal is to also do a lot of animation, comic books, motion comics, movies, all of that. So Kojima Productions is a bigger idea than just making video games, right? And what I'm hearing is that Sony obviously is more than just a gaming system because you got Sony Music, Sony Movie Studios, all this other stuff that played a major role in leverage into securing this deal where Kojima and his team felt comfortable enough to have Sony be either, I guess, their new parent company or, you know, just being acquired. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is very, very interesting to see how this unfolds. But that was one of the main decisions too. Kojima Productions, you will see movies, you will see animation, like you will see a lot coming out of Kojima Productions from this year going forward and their goal and what they want to accomplish. So the three things I just spoke about was very tightly groomed with Sony as the background and the support system for this. That's insane. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now let's move on to the next bullet point. The next bullet point was not only did the Kojima add new developments to the Decima engine in terms of features and techniques to the engine specifically for Sony platforms, but if you look at the video, there's a video below the Kojima video that's within the chat. And that's a conversation that I had with NVIDIA. And when I spoke to NVIDIA, I asked them about the ray tracing. I asked them about how is it going to work going forward. And they said that ray tracing and just the next generation of graphics is not just about hardware. I'll say it again. It's not just about hardware. It is also about software and hardware combined, okay, to make this work correctly. Because when it comes to ray tracing, it's not only just light, but you know, you got light, shadows, reflections, there's other things and stuff like that. And then there's certain parts of the game that takes more advantage of it. So it's a lot of things and stuff like that. So we all know that when it comes to Sony and their proprietary engines that they have for their exclusives, they like to add things and do things differently. So that means a change in software. And another thing that I'm hearing is that Kojima played a major role in the Decima engine when it comes to what ray tracing is, because ray tracing is also hardware based in the PS5. But when you look at the software has to change as well. You know what I mean? In order to get the best and get the most out of ray tracing overall when a game is done and it gets into consumer hands. You understand what I'm saying? So this right here is crazy because when I spoke to NVIDIA, one of the main things they said when I asked them about PS5 and even the next Xbox, what would they be able to do? And they were saying that next generation, this is specifically from NVIDIA. They said that next generation, when you see a cutscene and then you go to the game and the game don't always match the level of the pre-rendered cutscene, those days are gone. They are in a position now, hardware and software wise, where you will be able to achieve those things in real time and play them. Meaning, when we saw the Star Wars Reflections demo, that real-time demo, that was like an actual game. Like that right there is crazy. It was controllable, all of that, but we didn't get a chance to see that and experience that part. But in terms of information directly from NVIDIA, this is what he's saying that next generation overall will be able to handle. The reason why PlayStation 5 and Xbox plays a major role in that answer is because when third-party developers are making games, you also got to make games to the least common denominator too, because you got to factor in the other systems as well. That's why Xbox is going through their issues right now with Series X, trying to make games run on the Xbox One X and kind of work backwards. Now, with the next graphic cards that come out, they got to handle the next generation of games that you're going to see on PlayStation 5 from third-party developers and all. So get ready, because this generation is going to be the biggest leap in gaming history. Like this right here, this year, will be the biggest leap in gaming history. Get hyped. It's about to be real out here, son. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Big what's going on, big dog? You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Tanner, what's up? Yeah, the Fox engine. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You know what I mean? What's up, David? What's going on, John? So I appreciate y'all. I really do, man. This is crazy. So now the next thing I want to talk about was in terms of the decision that led to Sony acquiring Kojima Productions. Now, I know obviously Sony didn't come out and confirm this and make a press release. I'm telling you this, like once again, like I did before. So, the growth, the work environment, and maintaining creative freedom all made this a reality. This is another thing that I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? And this is all very believable the way it was brought to my attention. It was all very believable, and based on interviews that I've had and people that I spoke with on and off camera, this is very exciting news. You know what I'm saying? So growth, the reason why that plays a role in it, because if you look at, like, for example, Insomniac Games and Media Molecule in particular was catapults on how this happened as well. So Insomniac Games, remember, they was independent and they didn't want to be acquired. They didn't want to be brought out. It eventually happened. One of the reasons why is because Sony makes it easy, you know, for a lot of these independent companies to work with, because they allow the independent companies to keep 100% creative control with the support and a budget for bigger opportunities. And the work environments is better and the help is better. It's like a no-brainer. You understand what I'm saying? I told you, when PlayStation 3 came out, that was the best thing that happened to Sony's business, because that's when they got punched in the face. The way they handled PS3 and it being $4.99, $5.99, and certain things didn't add up, and the sale process of being difficult to develop for, all of that is what led to the greatness of what we're experiencing now. And still PS3 managed to win globally in that battle. So it's just crazy. But all these things led to what we're seeing today. Another thing is work environment. So one of the things that Kojima specifically expressed was how much he loved the way Media Molecule operation is, because they have a smaller operation, but they're able to do bigger things because of the tools that they got and the access that being a part of Sony gives them to do bigger things. It's a no-brainer. And then also Kojima said that he doesn't want a big team. He would rather work with a smaller team and have tools that give you bigger outcomes. Sort of like what Ninja Theory is doing with Microsoft with Hellblade and going forward with that. It's insane, y'all. All this stuff is crazy. So I just want to share that with y'all. And like I said, maintaining 100% creative freedom and having the support. So now this horror game that a lot of people is talking about and stuff like that, Kojima's already, to my knowledge, on record saying that he wants to do a horror game, but obviously things fell through with the Silent Hills deal. But the game that they want to make did not fall through, and we will get a horror game from Kojima, and that's the exclusive game that a lot of people is talking about. But it's all under wraps and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going down. It's about to be crazy. Now, another thing I want to bring up to y'all in terms of the bullet points that we following is that Sony is working out a way to diversify their portfolio from an exclusive standpoint. So if you look at the fighting game genre, Sony didn't have a fighting game to themselves, like, as an exclusive property. But when they did the deal with Capcom, that allowed them to have a console exclusive fighter, meaning that you can't get this on Nintendo Switch and you can't get this on Xbox. You can only play Street Fighter on PlayStation or PC. So instead of making one of their own, they did a deal that helped them to secure that. Now, it's the same thing with horror games and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. We've seen what's the name? The game that came out Until Dawn, and that was only on PlayStation, but that same company is now published by Bandai Namco, and then we got Man of Medan. So obviously that's not exclusive. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Sony is working their way to exclusively grow through other partners that they're acquiring and bringing in together. So if you look at Insomniac, and if you look at Kojima Productions and the other companies that they already got, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's crazy. Chariot, what's going on, Chariot? What's popping? You know what I'm saying? Shondell, what's going on, Shondell? What's popping? Yo, shout out to Lemon in the building. Toshinden, Battery to Toshinden. That was one of my favorite games back in the day. Shout out to Lemon. Make sure y'all go follow my man Lemon, 1080 Dragons TV. That's the homie right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Now, there's something else I want to bring to your attention, because there's been numerous talk about the teraflops and Sony having 9.2 and all this other stuff. Now, I don't know the exact teraflops that PlayStation 5 is going to be. I don't know that. I was not privileged to any of that information in terms of, the power in that level of detail, in terms of the exact T-flop number. I wasn't privy to that information. But what I would say is the PlayStation 5 is a lot more powerful than what people were saying. That's one. I can confirm that. The PlayStation 5 is a lot more powerful than what people were saying at first. I can confirm that. That's one. Two, after everyone get a chance to see, there's two major exclusive PlayStation 5 titles that y'all gonna see this year. And I can't speak on them and stuff like that. I know Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is one of them. I've been talking about that for a while. I spoke about that on Cheddar Esports. But one thing I would say is this. When you see what they're working on, there will be no more discussion about teraflops. There will be no more discussion about power, real-time, everything. It's all over. After this year, there will be no talks about any machine and the power and all this stuff on paper nothing. Everything is done. Forget it. Finish. It's over. The moment y'all see what's really happening in these studios behind the scenes, it's over. Period. That's the leap. That's the next generation position that we're in right now. When y'all see what's happening here, it's over. There's one brief conversation that I had that I wish I could reveal to y'all. But all I can tell you is that the new software and the new tools that these game developers got to work with, especially from an exclusive standpoint, be prepared that you're not going to be able to handle it. And all this talk about 8K support, wait till you see how 8K is supported in these next generation systems. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, everything is fire. But in terms of all the teraflops talk and PlayStation and not sure if it's powerful, there's 2 games in particular. One of them I could go on record and say Horizon Zero Dawn 2 because I made mention of that before on another platform. But when you see it, you're gonna have to upgrade your TV immediately. You're gonna have to everything. It's different now. It's over. Like, call your job. If you have a job, 9 to 5, you need to call out today. Call them today and tell them that holiday 2020, I'm not coming in for that month. Take a month off to get your life right. Do what you need to do. Because next generation is different, bro. It's different, man. I'm telling you. So, put it like this. You know how everybody talk about photorealism? It's borderline photorealism in life. Like, life. Like, it's unbelievable, y'all. So, I just wanted to share that with y'all today. Hopefully, this particular news that I'm talking about today will get revealed during the actual reveal, like, you know, of PS5. But from what I'm hearing and the way things seem to be, and all the details that came my way of recent, like very recent, all signs point to Sony acquiring Kojima Productions, and I'm hearing that it's already done. It just has to be announced. So you know, look out for that announcement. You know, talk about it, share the video. You know, what do y'all think about it? You know, Sony acquiring Kojima Productions officially. Like, what are y'all thoughts on it? Raise a Bloodborne 2. Yo, Gray, what's up, Gray? Shout out to Jonathan B from Canada. David, yes, this will be the biggest jump. Word up. Fight Night Champions 2, I wish, but not happening. So, yeah, y'all. So on that note, we out of here. I just want to say one love and God bless. I apologize for earlier when I was talking because there was audio that was overpowering my voice that I forgot to turn down. So I apologize for that earlier. But I will say this. Get ready. This generation is mind-blowing, man. Everything real time. Stay tuned. It's going to be crazier. So on that note, we out of here. One love and God bless. Logitech G on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. Salute y'all. Peace.